Hello everyone. So today I'll talk about my experience for bringing a dog to US. So I traveled with my family and we had a Shih Tzu dog. So we traveled from Delhi to Dallas, US with my dog. So there were a lot of process and steps involved when you have to carry your dog with you. So I'm going to talk about it, and I'm sure this probably is going to help you out as well. Now, before I start the video, I want to make sure that I'll say this that so this was the steps that I went through. Now, rules can change, right? Things can change, and I can also forget talking about certain things because this happened like few months back. So take this as a video, just as a general guidance, and then at least so that you understand the bigger picture, what it takes to take, what are the steps at high level to take the dog. Okay, and then do your due diligence of of each and every step, in this journey. So now, when you the first thing is the dog which I took. It is basically a Shih Tzu dog, so it is less than 8 kgs in weight. So I can carry this dog in the airline cabin, okay, in the airplane cabin. So that is another thing, because if your dog is more than 8 kgs, then there is certain steps which will be different. Okay, because then you can't carry that dog inside the cabin with you. Okay, so but I would recommend that you still listen to this video if your dog is more than 8 kgs, because at least you will get some high level guidance on the steps, and it still be useful for you. Okay, so the first step is basically to, before you start the whole process. So I assume that you will have your file from the vet for your dog, which will have all the previous vaccination that you have given to him. So let's start with that document right now. And then the first step is take your dog. Now you have to basically get the microchip inserted in your dog. Okay, so the purpose of microchip is to uniquely identify your dog. So during the travel, when they are checking on the dog, right? So they use the scanner, and they can read the number from this microchip, and that number will be the number that will be written inside the documents of your dog, like on your vet file and all. Like, so that's way to uniquely identify the dog. So that is the first step to get the microchip inserted. Now, from where you get the microchip and how it gets inserted. So during this process, I took help of a consultant, pet relocators, right, who was helping me out. Basically, they were consultants who were telling me step-by-step process. So they told me first thing, okay, you have to get this microchip inserted. And then they said, okay, we can send you the microchip. You can take the microchip with your dog and go to the local local vet and get it inserted. So they were charging me some money for it. So I said, okay, they charged me around 2,000 at that time. And I said, okay, maybe if can I I also want to check on Amazon or somewhere if I can get it cheaper, right? So then they said, okay, this needs to be real, ISO certified, because and it has to be a good chip. So you have to make sure that whatever you are buying from anywhere, if it is cheaper, right? So it is basically good enough so that when the time comes to scan it, this should get scanned. Otherwise, you can have some problems, right? Obviously, then I didn't took a chance. I sent them the money, and they shipped me this microchip, and I took my dog along with the vet file to the doctor, local vet, and he inserted that microchip inside my dog. So they usually do it, around the neck area, the back of the neck, and they use a certain kind of injection to insert it. My dog didn't have any problem when it was getting inserted, so it was a very short process. And then after inserting, he had a scanner which he used to show me, and scanned it, and then the number was coming on it. So it was basically, he was telling me, okay, it is getting scanned and it's properly inserted. So now when they insert in during this interaction, they insert the microchip. The doctor should also give you, the vet should also give you the microchip certificate, and it should be on the letterhead, and it should have the pet details, name, species, breed, color, etc., microchip number, date of implantation, right? Owner details, like you should, it's your details or name, address, and the veterinary details as well, and make sure that the veterinary register number, or I believe they also maybe call APS SVC number, the number is properly mentioned on it, right? So that on the microchip certificate. So this is the first. Now the first certificate, first document, you have got the microchip certificate with you, and the microchip is inserted. Now, along with giving the microchip certificate to you, they will also put an entry on the dog's vet file that on this date the microchip is inserted, like they put an entry for any kind of injection and all, so that their entry needs to be also there in your vet file. Okay, so now the first step is done. The next second step is to have your dog get vaccinated for rabies. Okay, so then the doctor can give the rabies vaccination to your dog, and then again put a new entry under the microchips entry that in your dog's vet file. Okay, that the rabies injection is given. So this is the second step, which and now after the second step, you have to wait for rabies injection to to do work, right? So that antibodies are made against rabies. So usually it takes around 30 days, and after 30 days, my consultant told me to take the dog to the vet and get the blood sample drawn. Okay, so after 30 days, I took my dog to the doctor, same doctor, and he drew the blood sample, and he prepared a serum and in the test tube, and he gave me the test tube, and which this test tube needs, I had to ship to my consultant. Okay, the purpose of this third step is basically to send this serum, or a blood sample, right? From the blood sample, they create serum. So I'm calling it referred as a serum. So they to send it to a lab, and lab should give you a certificate that the dog have enough antibodies. So basically now we are checking whether the antibodies are made or not, right? So sometimes it can happen that the antibodies are not made, or injection didn't do well. So usually the happening of that is rare, but it is something that only giving injection is not important. A proof is needed that the dog has enough rabies antibodies. So they gave me a sample in a test tube, and they took that test tube. I put it into a pouch, cooling pouch, which I got from a pharmacy, and I shipped it, couriered it to my consultant who was in Mumbai, and they then further sent it to some lab. Okay, this whole process was not transparent to me where they are sending, and also they just sent it to some lab, and then along with the test tube, my doctor also had to give you another certificate that about this blood sample collection. So it is basically written on it that I have, it is certified that I have collected the blood sample of the animal having the following details. So your name of the animal, species, breed, date of birth, owner, microchip number. Yeah. So sample collected for rabies and date of sample collection. This again needs to be on the doctor letterhead. Okay, so now you have got another these two things, right? Test tube and this blood sample collection certificate with you. Send it to along with, I took the microchip certificate copy, and these three things I sent it to my consultant. They sent it to further to a lab, and then lab takes its own time. My consultant told me that it's a UK lab which they send it, and then it takes time. So I waited for 3 weeks for the results, and then I got my consultant then sent me a e-copy of the lab results. So when I looked at the lab results, like it talks about, okay, yeah, the rabies antibodies are made and things like that, right? Some medical terminology and all. So yeah, when I look at this, it looks like the lab is in some United Kingdom and all, something like that. Okay, so this was another step, right? So now you have got your the first step, what we talked about, microchip, right? You have microchip inserted, you have microchip certificate with you. Okay, you got the rabies injection after that, then waited for 30 days, and you, after 30 days, you got the blood sample collection. Along with blood sample collection, a certificate from the doctor that I have collected this blood sample on this date with the following details of the PET and microchip number. Then it was sent to the consultant. Consultant sent it to some lab, and lab gave me results that, okay, the enough antibodies are made. Then the next step, again, my consultant did. So they, on the CDC website, they have to fill a form now for the approval. Okay, so so I think they used this lab certificate, lab result, and other certificate which I got in previous steps, and they asked for the approval. I think this is done through website. It's an online process. Uh, I didn't went and checked thoroughly, okay, whether it's, it's like an online form or how it is done. Maybe you can go and check on the CDC website and see how it is done. I'm just telling you now what I know about this step, okay? So you can verify all these things. So then they took this lab certificate and other documents, and they asked for CDC approval to import the animal. Okay, so after 3-4 days, there was an email that came to me from the Animal Import Service account, CDC, that there is a, which is basically an approval for to take the dog to US. Okay, so that's where so this is approval, and I took the printout of that email. It like 3-4 pages that I got as an approval. Then along with that, another thing what you have to do is, so this is another document which I talked about. Now there's one more document. There is also a CDC rabies vaccination microchip record. Okay, this is easily available on website, CDC website. So this also needs to be done by the same vet. Okay, within like 30 days of your travel, right? It basically has details, okay, the animal details, okay, microchip number and all, rabies vaccination, what the lot number and the product expiration and date of vaccination, right? And he also the vet also certified in this, right? Okay, this I have checked the animal and all. So, and with the doctor signature and the date. Okay, and okay, so this is another certificate which you have to get from the vet, probably within, what I know is within 30 days of your travel. Okay, so just make sure that whatever certificates you are getting from the vet, it has that registration number, or so which uniquely identifies that particular doctor. Okay, so that is another certificate document that you need. Then the next step is basically now wherever your ticket is, where like from, in our case, our ticket was from Delhi, right? So we then, like, if your ticket is from Bangalore or from Chennai, right? So exactly from that port of exit, right? You have to the next step basically starts, like, let's say your ticket is on the 30th of some month, right? Maybe then you have to backtrack, like, then you have to start the last process now within like the last 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before your travel. Okay, now this step needs to be done at the port of exit, right? If you are in Chennai, you have to do it in Chennai. You have to do it in Delhi, you have to do it in Delhi. In my case, I was in Delhi, so I had to do from Delhi. So you have to go to Indian government, okay, Government of India, and take their approval as well to export this to for this dog. Okay, so maybe I think it's called export certificate, something like that. Okay, but you have to take an approval certificate. Now this approval certificates comes from Animal Quarantine and Certification Service from Government of India. Okay, so before you, what you have to do is there is a website. Now, if you just search for animal quarantine and certification service, you will get on a website. Go to the website. Okay, then exporting a dog, you will can go there. It's easy to, you can find it out. Okay, over there, and then they will have a process now how to take that certificate from the government of India. So it will talk about, okay, before, like I think what I remember is before it was written over there, like before 10 days of travel or something, you send us an email stating, okay, all, you take your documents, all documents which you have got till now, scan it, attach to that email and say, okay, I am traveling on this date, with my dog, and I have got all the approvals and certificates, and I need a certificate and appointment basically to take this animal quarantine certification service certificate. So if you go to the website, you will easily get to know what needs to be written, and you have to send that email. The email ID is also mentioned over there, and then like in 2, 3, 4 days, you will get a reply back, okay, telling, okay, by when you have to come. So in my case, my date of travel was like 1st of next month, so they gave me a date of 27th, like 3, 4 days before. Now I waited for that date to come. Now, before I went to this Government of India office, you have to take, or I have also taken another health certificate from a local vet. Okay, so go to vet before before you plan to go to this animal quarantine, and that doctor will give you, okay, they have examined the pet, and the pet is free from disease and all. It's all healthy and all. So that's a health certificate you have to take, and again make sure that the doctor some AVSC number or registration number is mentioned on it. Okay, I'm talking about these steps a few times because in my case it was missed, and later on I had to basically get it done. Okay, so you don't miss that. So now you took one more certificate, another health certificate from the local vet before you went to this Indian government office. I went to in Delhi. There is a office in Kapaseda. So I went over there, and I took before I went, I took copies of all my documents, including the medical file for my vaccination file for my dog. All the Xerox copies I took, and then I went over there with my dog on that specific date and time which they have given to me, and they took me at the gate. They took my photocopies for all the documents. They sent it inside, and then the doctor, they will keep on calling you, come inside and all. So then I took the dog inside, and there was again the doctor over there from in there. So he looked at my dog physically, just looked at it, and then I was asked to wait for some time, and then they gave me a certificate, on Government of India letterhead, that okay, all the microchip details, dog, right? That okay, this can be, the kind of approval from their side. So this was basically the last document that you need. Now, another thing is, important thing over mention here is that the airline. Okay, so not all airlines will allow you to take your pet inside the cabin, even if it is less than 8 kgs. So you have to make sure that the ticket which is getting booked, you are booking in an airline which allow the pet inside the cabin. Okay, and in my case, we looked at different airlines, so we found the specific airline that allows it. So from Delhi, when you choose the airline, after that your tickets are booked, then after I was told now to reach out to the airline to get an approval for your dog. So I had to send them an email, and then make sure you get a reply in return that your dog is confirmed. They will also send some number along with it, and that is very important. I would suggest that don't just only, some airlines might have like online way of booking for the dog. If you want to do that, but just call the airline and ask for the confirmation, ask for some kind of a written approval for the dog, so that you can save yourself from any last minute issues. Okay, so and then this was about the airline, and then so your airline is done and you have all the documents with you, right? And then the other thing is that if you are carrying your dog inside the cabin, you need a certain no bag for your dog. Now there are two ways. There's one hard crate, right, which probably don't I don't like it. Small or anyway, it is no not that great option, I believe. So other option is like you can have a soft bag. The advantage of the soft bag is they can compress, right? If you have to insert in your the space in front of you below the seat, if you have to put insert the bag over there, then the soft bag can get easily inserted over there. And also make sure that you are training your dog to be inside that bag from like a couple of weeks before, right? When start with like 5 minutes, putting him 5 minutes, then if he when he comes out, give him some treat, or inside that just keep giving him a treat so that his time inside that bag keeps on increasing. So so that way it will be all good, right? And one other point to make sure is that the weight of the dog along with the bag needs to be 8 or less than 8 kgs. Okay, just you have to make sure on that. I think this sums up overall the process. And if you have still any questions to me, you can ask me in the comment sections. I will definitely try best to answer each and every question and share my experience. Again, a disclaimer, this was all what I remember. And this is now things can change, rules can change, and I might also miss things. So do your due diligence and all the steps, the way you want to verify everything and then go ahead. So thank you all for watching this video.